Have you ever wondered how some people can influence others without them even realizing it? The answer lies in the art of manipulating someone's thoughts so they act in your favor without being aware of it. In this video, we will teach you how to control your enemy's mind without them knowing it. This way, you will be able to get the upper hand over them in any situation and make them work for you without questioning why. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe if you haven't so that you won't miss any new updates. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to dive in. Number 1. Imagine beating your enemy without lifting a single finger. Think about it. If you could defeat your enemy without risking your own safety or wasting your energy, would you not take that chance? Of course, you would. This is exactly how you should approach every conflict. Find a way to outsmart your opponent without direct confrontation. This may seem like a Jedi mind trick, but it is actually a simple psychological tactic that has been used by great leaders throughout history. For example, instead of going to war with another kingdom, try to find a way to weaken them from within. You can do this by making them question their own choices or by planting seeds of doubt about their leadership. This way, you will cause chaos and destruction within their ranks without having to lift a finger yourself. To achieve this, you need to understand your enemy and know their weaknesses. This allows you to attack their vulnerabilities and cause maximum damage without risking your own position. It also gives you the element of surprise and makes it harder for them to defend themselves. By thinking strategically and finding creative ways to outsmart your opponents, you can gain the upper hand without having to resort to brute force. 2. Planting doubt is more powerful than attacking directly. Have you ever tried to convince someone that they are wrong, only to realize that it just makes them dig in their heels and refuse to budge? We have all been there. It seems logical that if we want someone to change their mind, we should just present them with enough evidence to show them that they are wrong. But studies in psychology prove that this is not the most effective way to convince someone to see things our way. Research shows that planting doubt in someone's mind is much more powerful than attacking their beliefs head-on. When we challenge someone's beliefs directly, they become defensive and less likely to consider other points of view. On the other hand, when we plant doubt, we open up the possibility that they may be wrong and that there are other perspectives they haven't considered. This creates a sense of curiosity and makes them more open to considering alternative viewpoints. For example, rather than telling someone they are wrong about something, try asking them why they believe what they do. This will make them examine their own beliefs and consider the possibility that they may be wrong. So next time you want to convince someone that they are wrong, don't just tell them they are wrong. Instead, plant seeds of doubt in their minds and let them come to their own conclusions. This will not only make them more receptive to your ideas, but it will also make them feel like they are in control of their own beliefs. 3. Ask leading questions to guide their thoughts. You have probably heard the saying, "A fool with a plan can beat a master with no plan." This proverb highlights the importance of planning and strategy in achieving success. Even if you are facing a more skilled or experienced opponent, with a good plan, you can often come out ahead. One way to ensure you are always a step ahead is to ask leading questions to guide their thoughts. Leading questions are questions that suggest a particular answer or point of view. They help to shape the way the other person thinks and can lead them to the conclusions you want them to reach. For example, during a negotiation, instead of asking, "What is your best offer?" which is a neutral question, ask, "Wouldn't it be better for both of us if we could reach an agreement today?" This question plants a seed in the other person's mind that it is beneficial to reach an agreement. By asking carefully worded questions, you can influence the way the other person thinks and increase the likelihood that they will see things your way. Remember, it's not about tricking them or manipulating them into doing what you want. It is about guiding them to a place where they can see the benefits of agreeing to your terms. So next time you enter into a negotiation or a discussion, Take some time to craft your questions carefully. You might be surprised at how much of a difference it can make. 4. Silence forces the other side to reveal weakness. Silence is one of the most powerful weapons in your mental warfare arsenal. While it may seem counterintuitive, remaining silent can often force your opponent to make the first move, revealing their weakness and giving you the upper hand. This is because silence creates a sense of unease and uncertainty, causing your opponent to feel the need to fill the void and break the silence. By staying quiet, you put the pressure on them to speak, which can lead to them revealing important information that can be used against them. For example, imagine you are negotiating a business deal and the other party makes an unreasonable demand. Instead of immediately responding with a counteroffer, stay silent and let them continue talking. They may eventually realize that their demand is too high and be willing to come back down to a more reasonable number. Of course, remaining silent does not always work. Sometimes it is important to respond quickly to keep the momentum going. However, in many situations, silence can be a powerful tool for getting inside your opponent's head and forcing them to reveal their weakness. 5. Control the frame. Decide what the conversation is about. The concept of framing is crucial in controlling the narrative and influencing how others perceive a situation. By controlling the frame, you decide what the conversation is about and how it will be interpreted, which can significantly impact the outcome of the interaction. For example, if you are trying to convince someone to see your point of view, you can frame the conversation in a way that highlights the aspects that support your argument while downplaying those that do not. On the other hand, if you are in a negotiation, you can frame the discussion in a way that emphasizes the mutual benefits of an agreement. To control the frame, it is essential to be aware of the different perspectives and biases that may be at play. Consider the language you use, the examples you cite, and the stories you tell. All of these can influence how the other person interprets the conversation. By carefully crafting your message and controlling the frame, you can increase the likelihood that others will see things your way and make decisions that are favorable to you. 6. Reverse psychology. Forbid something gives they crave it more. Forbidden fruit is often perceived as being more desirable and valuable. This phenomenon is known as reactance, and it occurs when people feel that their freedom of choice is being restricted. For example, if you tell someone they cannot do something, they may become more determined to do it than if you had not said anything at all. This is because the person feels a sense of loss of control and reacts by wanting to regain it. Therefore, by using reverse psychology and forbidding something, you may just make it more appealing to your opponent and increase the likelihood that they will do it. However, it is essential to use this tactic wisely and only in situations where the forbidden action is not harmful to yourself or others. Otherwise, it could backfire and make the situation worse. 7. Emotional triggers override logic. Emotions are a powerful force that can override logic and rational thought. This means that your opponent's emotional response to a situation can often be a more significant factor in their decision-making process than any logical arguments you present to them. For example, if you are trying to negotiate a deal with someone who is angry or stressed, it will be challenging to reach an agreement. Their emotions will cloud their judgment and make it difficult for them to see your perspective. To effectively manipulate someone's thoughts, it is essential to understand their emotional triggers and how to use them to your advantage. By identifying what makes them angry, sad, or happy, you can tailor your approach accordingly and increase the likelihood that they will agree to your terms. However, it is crucial to use this knowledge ethically and not to exploit their emotions for personal gain. 8. Make them underestimate you, then outmaneuver. Underestimating your abilities can be a costly mistake. When you underestimate someone, you may miss out on opportunities to learn from them or take advantage of their skills and talents. It is essential to recognize the abilities of those around you and appreciate the value they bring. When you make someone feel underestimated, they are more likely to try harder to prove themselves and may surprise you with their capabilities. This can be a useful tactic to keep your enemy off balance and prevent them from underestimating you. By showing them that you are capable of more than they expect, you can keep them on their toes and make it difficult for them to predict your moves. This can be especially effective in situations where you are in a position of power, as it can make it harder for others to take advantage of you. 9. Victory comes when they follow your thoughts willingly. The ultimate goal of controlling someone's mind is to get them to follow your thoughts and do what you want them to do without realizing it. This is the true mark of victory. When you can convince someone to follow your train of thought and do something without them even realizing it, you have achieved a level of mental mastery that is truly impressive. This is because it means that you have completely infiltrated their thoughts and gained the upper hand. It is like being in a battle and winning so completely that the enemy doesn't even know they have been defeated. It is the ultimate test of your mental warfare skills. And when you achieve it, you know that you have truly mastered the art of controlling someone's mind. So if you want to be a master manipulator, strive to get inside your enemy's head so deeply that they follow your thoughts willingly. This is the true measure of success in the game of mental warfare. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content. Thanks for watching.